Hey guys, I'm back here again for a new Horror Fest 2023 video. I'm talking about all the movies that I watched last week, and I watched a lot of movies, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Some of these movies I watched on TV, but the first movie I watched is a movie that I know a lot of people grew up with, and I actually did not see this movie until a few years back, so I don't have the nostalgia for it, but I still really enjoy it. And that is Hocus Pocus. This is just a really fun, family-friendly, Halloween-themed movie. I really like it. Sarah Jessica Parker is my favorite part about this whole movie. I just love her in this movie. But yeah, this is just a really fun movie about, three witches and, these kids got to stop them. It also has Thora Birch in it. I think this is the first movie that she was ever really known for. But yeah, this is just a really fun family movie. They played this on Freeform all the time, like almost every other day. And so I watched it on there. But yeah, this is just a really, really great family-friendly Halloween movie. Next movie I watched is Children of the Corn. I try to watch this every year. This movie has a great fall atmosphere because, it takes place, in a cornfield. And I do enjoy this movie. It is pretty dated now, but I still think it's a good story. I don't know if I'm going to try to watch any of the sequels. If I do, I'll probably try to watch the second one because that's my favorite out of all the sequels. I haven't seen them all though. I haven't seen the last two sequels, but yeah, I do really enjoy the original Children of the Corn. I haven't seen the remake either, and I've heard a lot of mixed things about it. So if you've seen it, let me know down below if you like it. But yeah, Children of the Corn. The next one is a movie that I watched on AMC, and AMC seems to be, as far as, on TV, it seems to be the best channel when it comes to horror movies. Misery. I really enjoy this one. Just a crazy movie about, an author of a book series who, gets into a car crash, and he's being taken care of Kathy Bates, who's just this crazy fan of his, and just, it's just kind of a crazy idea that I'm sure a lot of, famous people think about, like, what would happen if I was trapped in a house with a deranged fan of mine, and this kind of takes it to that level. But yeah, just a classic movie. I try to watch it every year. This movie is also probably really good to watch in the winter time, since it takes place during the winter time and there's snow everywhere. But yeah, a classic one. Another one that I watched on AMC is Candyman. You really love this one as well. Really creepy. I think it's definitely, it came out in the mid 90s when slasher movies were kind of coming back. But I really don't see this movie as a slasher movie. I see this as more of a cool urban, urban legend type film. And yeah, I really, really enjoy Candyman. Next one I watched is the original Poltergeist. I still think this movie is a classic. I still really enjoy this movie. I actually have not seen any of the sequels. So if anybody, anyone's seen them, I know that people seem to really enjoy Poltergeist 2. And I have heard Poltergeist 3 is good as well. It is kind of a tragedy that the little girl who played Carol Ann, she dies while they were filming Poltergeist 3. So whenever I see that, whenever I think about that movie, that's kind of what I think about. And I think about the scene in the movie when, well, I don't want to, for anyone who hasn't seen Poltergeist 3, I haven't, but I do know how it ends. It's just kind of sad to know that she had passed away. And there's so many other things about this movie, just kind of like The Omen. There's so much bad, stuff that happened during the making of this movie, and it's just kind of, it's kind of crazy. But I still think the original Poltergeist is a really, really great, well-made horror film. And the next one is a really, really fun movie. I watch this movie every year, and that is 13 Ghosts. I saw this movie back when I was really, really young, and I remembered loving it ever since. I've always loved the house that they're in, the glass house with all the Latin all on the windows and everything. And I always thought the idea of just you know, capturing different ghosts, and each ghost has its own personality on how it died, so they each have their own backstory. I've always liked that. I've heard that they're going to try to do a 13 Ghosts TV show where they talk about the backstory of each ghost. I kind of like that. I think that'd be cool. I'm not sure if they're going to do it like, you know, back when the person was alive and then they die at the end. I think it'd be kind of cool if at the end of every episode, the ghost gets captured by, I assume it's going to follow the movie, so they all get captured by Cyrus. Like, each ghost gets captured by Cyrus at the end of every episode, and then that could lead up to, like, a new 13 Ghosts remake or something like that. I think that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, I've always loved 13 Ghosts, and I actually did not know this, but the actress who plays Maggie, the kind of the housekeeper that they kind of have in the movie, she is a rapper, and the song that plays at the end of it, during the end credits, is one of her songs. I did not know that. But yeah, 13 Ghosts, definitely great. Of course, Matthew Lillard is also great in this as well. But yeah, I've always loved this movie. All right, and now the next one, I actually watched a Goosebumps episode, and that is The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. And I watched this because it has a great, like Children of the Corn, you know, any movie that takes place in the cornfield I like. I actually remember when I was younger, I had sort of a fascination with scarecrows. Any movie where a scarecrow came to life and started killing people or something like that, I've always liked. Or any movie that takes place in a cornfield. I just think a cornfield is a really creepy place for a horror movie. So I really enjoy this episode, and there are a few Goosebumps episodes I'm going to throw in throughout October, but yeah, this is one that I always like to go back to. Now the next two, I did watch Nightmare on Elm Street last week, and so this past week I watched Nightmare on Elm Street 2 and 3. Now Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is one that I've always enjoyed. I do know that it kind of throws out all of the rules that the first movie established, and I think that's one reason why some people don't like it. And of course, the overtones throughout the whole movie. When I was a kid, I never picked up on any of that stuff. I just kind of saw it as just kind of a weird 80s movie, like the scene when, the main character, the scene when, Jesse, he's dancing in his room. I never really picked up on that. I just thought that was just like he was doing like a cheesy 80s dance type thing. But the more I thought about this movie, and the more I heard about it, the more I do see the undertones, or overtones, whatever you want to call it. But I really enjoy Nightmare 2, even though, like I said, it does kind of throw out a lot of the rules that were established in the first movie. They kind of just throw those out for this one. But I've always enjoyed Nightmare on Elm Street 2. But Nightmare on Elm Street 3 is my absolute favorite sequel in the entire series. I love all the characters. I love how each of the character has its own thing. Like, you have the one girl who's kind of like, she used to be a drug addict, and she sees herself as this beautiful and bad, person, and so that's what she becomes in the dream. Or the other character, the guy in the wheelchair, in his dreams he can walk, and he's the wizard master. Like, I love that each character has their own thing, and I kind of wish that all the characters, like all the Dream Warriors, I kind of wish that they all lived until the end. I think it would have been cool to see them all fight Freddy, in the at the end of the movie, and then have Freddy kill them off during the end. But yeah, I mean, I love Nightmare. I also love seeing Nancy come back for Nightmare on Elm Street 3. And it's always been my favorite sequel in the series. But I actually do enjoy every movie in the Nightmare on Elm Street Nightmare on Elm Street series. I don't think there's any of them that are bad. I even like Freddy is Dead. I really don't think that movie's all that bad. But yeah, guys, so Nightmare on Elm Street 2 and 3, I watched those. I don't know if I'm going to get to any of the other ones before October, but I would like to revisit them because it's actually been years since I watched all of them. So I would like to try to revisit as many as I can. And the last 3 movies that I watched was the David Gordon Green Halloween trilogy. Now, when I first saw the first one, I liked it, but I didn't love it. And then when I rewatched it, I enjoyed it more. And then I watched it again, I enjoyed it more, and that kept happening. Well, when I recently watched this past weekend, I still really enjoyed it. I definitely think that the 2018 movie is the best of the trilogy. Now, Halloween Kills was one that I was really, really mixed on. There were a lot of things about it that I did like, and a lot of things about it that I didn't. My favorite parts about Halloween Kills are the flashback scenes to 1978. I thought they did a great job of making that look like Haddonfield from the original movie. I thought that, of course, Dr. Loomis, the man who played Dr. Loomis, I thought he did a great job. I thought the kid who played Lonnie was really good as well. And the fact that they remembered certain things about the original movie and kept them in, like the scene when Dr. Loomis and Sheriff Brackett are up in the room and that thing comes and smashes the window. I like that they included, when Officer Hawkins and the other officer walks in there and they see the glass broke from that. I like that they included that. So those are my favorite parts of Halloween Kills. I did think that Anthony Michael Hall was good as Tommy, and I was glad seeing all the other actors from the original movie, them coming back. So there are things about Kills that I do enjoy. I remember not liking it as much the first time I saw it in theaters, but after I watched it a second time, I actually enjoy it more this time around than I did the first time. And I really think that these are movies that I really think it's gonna have to grow on people, I think, because there were a lot of things about, now don't get me wrong, there are things about Halloween Kills that I do not like, but there were more things about it that I think I liked more the second time around. Now, Halloween Ends, on the other hand, and this is kind of weird, but the first time I watched it, I remember really, really enjoying it. And then when I watched it this past weekend, I liked it, but I didn't like it as much as I thought I did. Now, there are things about it that I do still really like, but there's also things about it that didn't bother me as much the first time I watched it. But now that I've watched it again, they actually did kind of bother me a bit. And I think overall, Halloween Ends is probably the weakest of the three movies. Now, don't get me wrong, I do still really like it. I liked, the idea of, Corey Cunningham, he accidentally kills this little boy, and then he becomes hated in the town, and then, stuff starts happening. I like that. I liked all that. I just think that personally for me, I don't really like the way Michael really is in this one. I think Halloween Kills, when they show him at the end of the movie, when he's like this indestructible machine, he can't be stopped. I just thought it was kind of weird seeing him in Halloween Ends, where he's now just kind of, he's like a human again. He's like more human, I think, and he's just kind of in this cave and all that. I didn't mind him being in the cave, but the fact that he just seemed really weak in this one, it just didn't that wasn't where I thought Michael was going to go after the end of Halloween Kills. And so I wasn't really that big a fan of that. Also, I thought the ending was very anticlimactic. I was really expecting a bigger battle, just like everyone else, because I think everybody, when they went to go see Halloween Ends, they were expecting a big battle between Laurie and Michael, and they didn't get that. We did get a battle at the end, but it wasn't as, it wasn't as climactic. But overall, I still do enjoy Halloween Ends. I'm not saying anything bad about it. I guess it's just, I don't know, I just didn't enjoy it as much as I did the first time around. But overall, as far as my thoughts on all three movies, there are things about them that I really, really like, and the stuff that I don't like, I really don't like. But, I still enjoy the movies. I'll still watch them every year, and I will still, look forward to watching them, But if I had to pick, I would say the 2018 Halloween is definitely the best of the three, in my opinion. But anyway, guys, that is it. That is every movie that I watched over the past week, and I'm really glad that I got through a lot of them. Most of these are movies that I do watch every year. And I do plan on watching a few movies that I haven't seen coming up over the next few weeks. But yeah, guys, like I said, I do plan on doing these type of videos. I'm hoping to get, a video like this up every week during October now. And I will be posting my fourth and my final part of my Halloween and Michael Myers collection up soon, as well as a few more videos up this month. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think about all the movies that I watched in this video. As always, my social media is always down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.